Greetings, my fellow tinkerers all over the world, and a very warm welcome to you all. Now, if you're watching this video because you accidentally cracked the LCD while trying to change the battery on your Breitling Aerospace, then give yourself a pat on the back for being brave enough to try it yourself. You have to break a few omelets to make scrambled eggs, right? Or you may be watching because you bought it smashed from the first guy in the hope of fixing it yourself. Well, give yourself a pat on the back too for having the brass acorns, knowing well that it would be nigh on impossible to get the parts for this particular watch. And the rest of you who are here, go on, give yourselves a pat on the back too for coming to show your support to the first two poor sods. So as you can see, this particular piece has a damaged LCD, and the most common cause for this is during battery change. The recommended battery size for this watch is a 371. However, when I opened up the case, it had a 395. The 395 is the exact same diameter as the 371, however the 395 is thicker and will usually last longer, and so this may be the reason why some people use the 395 instead of the recommended 371. And as you can see, there is a small well on the case back which needs to sit over the battery. So if the case back is forced on the wrong way or is not aligned correctly with the well, then the battery pushes up against the movement, thus cracking the LCD. So back to this watch. This is a titanium Breitling Aerospace with an anodigi quartz movement. Some of you have asked me about my thoughts on quartz watches, so I'll give my 2 pence worth briefly. There seems to be some sort of taboo against quartz watches. Yes, there may be an absence of quartz watches in the vaults housing prized collections. They don't set auction houses alight, and you won't see many collectors clamoring to add one to their collection. The stigma also arises from the fact that you can buy a $5 watch which has a quartz movement, and so that family name acts as a beating brush to tarnish all quartz watches. And even though there are many different grades of quartz watches, even that $5 watch will probably have a better accuracy rating than most mechanical watches. Rolex, Patek, Audemars Piguet, Vacheron Constantin have all used quartz movements in some of their watches. Quartz watches may not be as prestigious or as highly regarded by the enlightened horology sheriffs and the self-proclaimed custodians of the watchmaking fraternity, but for the rest of us mere mortals, quartz watches can be very cool and fun. They are cheaper to buy and easier to maintain, and far more accurate than even some chronometer-certified mechanical watches. I wanted to cover this topic quickly and give my thoughts because a lot of you have been discussing it in the comments, and young people who are entering into this hobby seem to have this lowly view ingrained into them based on this circulated canard. Mechanical movements are more beautiful and they would last for generations if looked after well. But quartz watches are cool too. And I say this not because of any anti-snobbery reasons, but out of great fondness because some of my first horological memories were with quartz watches, and many young people who buy their first watch with their first pay packet will also probably buy one with the quartz movement, and they will look at that watch on their wrist over and over again and love it and make new memories, just the same way as someone who has just walked out of a Rolex dealership. So back to this Breitling. The Aerospace was first released in the mid-80s and was part of Breitling's pilot range and initially fell under the Navitimer series. It has always had this ana-digi combination of analog and digital displays. The first movements were from the ETA 988 range, which was then improved and upgraded to this E10 variation with a larger bottom display. This range of movements has since evolved to the Super Quartz range. The Super Quartz movements are thermocompensated and supposedly provide 10 times better accuracy than the already accurate normal quartz movements. You want to say hello to my viewers, no? Let's remove the V8 engine. Looks like a bit of a V8 engine. For the coil, so be very careful not to snap any of that. As you can see here, and this is the train, Even though this is a quartz watch with a digital display, the analog hands still have to have this mechanical section here. What's that? Is that in my eye, this squiggly line? That on my camera, on my eyes? Oh, squiggly line in my eye fluid. I see you there, lurking on the periphery of my vision. But when I try to look at you, you scurry away. Anyway, so now we'll dismantle the train. And the train bridge is held in with these two screws here. This bridge. And now you can see the train. Choo choo! These are tiny compared to a mechanical watch. Then you have the step rotor, which is magnetic. It's fallen off. So much shadow. So much shadow. I see you there. And so, there we have it. See? These are all the parts. There's not that many parts, to be honest. Some of you wanted to see a comparison of the size of things. Let me see if I can pull out an eyelash for you and show you. Okay, so there's an eyelash. And that's a screw. I sacrificed an eyelash for you guys. Okay, so I'm just going to change my fluid, guys. Right, so that's to change the fluid. Put it onto that one. I just lift that, this jar. Over here. There you go. I'll put it here. So that's the cleaning solution. And that's a rinse aid. And that's a rinse aid. Okay, you ready? Yeah. That good? That's it. Leave all our solutions. We'll get our little quartz watch in the wash. This is the step rotor. Can't really call it. Oh, it's falling in. The solutions that I just recycled. Just gonna use that solution now to clean the step rotor. give it a clean with some Radico, just in case the rotor has picked up any bits of metal from the solution, and give it a nice clean with the Radico. It's raining cats outside. Persisting it down out. That'll do. That's one way of getting it all out. What's for dinner?
So okay. Tiki.
Tiki. Okay, and now we need to do the other side. So we'll do the other side when we flip the movement over.
So I have to take these.
Yeah. I have that part of the isolator, but I need this bit here, which is missing, and that goes over the top. This bit goes underneath, and then that bit goes on top. So what I'm going to do is make one out of this. So there you have it, folks. I have a lot of history with the Breitling Aerospace and the aerospace industry, so it was an honor showing you guys the inner workings of this watch. I hope I've also managed to instill some love and appreciation for quartz watches. Not all quartz watches are rubbish. You can get a lot of cool functions on quartz watches that you can't get on mechanical watches. And there are many top brands out there who are paying more and more attention to the beautification of quartz movements. Some of my patrons and subscribers have asked me to cover more quartz watches, so make sure to subscribe for all that. Oh, and apparently there's a bell somewhere that you have to press, so find that bell and give it a good old push. So until next time, friends, look after yourselves and look after one another. The world needs healing right now, so let's do it one small gesture at a time. It all adds up. Peace, love and blessings to you all, and if the Almighty wills, I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra!